But with that, we'll slowly transition into our next great thing that happened this week. And for Dirksy, who has had the luxury of playing, I have been lazy and have not.
Hey, I'm back.
They they did this wild event in Call of Duty Warzone, and it blew up. Literally blew up
Literally.
Verdansk. Literally, they blew up Verdansk and took us back in time to Verdansk in 1984.
Yeah, you'd think. On a side note, before I throw anything up on the screen, you'd think I'd be able to find a damn map, like the map of the new map. Oh, is this it? Boy, this
That
is an
is.
absolutely horrid picture, but it's the only thing I can find. So, um, yes, I don't know how much Denver said already, but Wazan, baby,
Yeah,
Wazan.
no, I haven't said much. We got a new map. I should rephrase it, and not a complete new map. There are sections of the map that have been heavily changed and
The whole
redone.
map has been reskinned, and parts of the map have been redone.
Yeah, there we go.
It is.
That's great.
I'm gonna say it now. For all intents and purposes, it's very close to the same map. But they did make some, pretty solid changes in my opinion. We'll get into that here very shortly.
Yeah,
Um,
so
go yeah, Denver, wherever you want to start, since you're the one who hasn't played
so
yet.
I haven't played, but I've watched a lot of videos. I've watched a lot of streams. And my favorite thing to add about the new map is the overall like brightness and feel of it. I have yet to play it, but I like how bright everything is, and I like how there isn't so many. I felt like when you destroy, like Verdansk when we got it was destroyed. There were things that were broken. There's a lot of places to hide when things are destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're either building or you're just new, like we'll go to Superstore, right? Superstore post nuke was destroyed. There were places to hide all the time. There was um what it's in the front of the store. There was like cashiers, there were like things tilted over the cashiers, all that stuff. But when you go there now, it is a complete open lane. There is no hiding in that thing. If you're caught in that open lane, you're gonna get shot. You're gonna die in that. Um, but overall, I like how it looks so much brighter. It looks like a new feel
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
that's the best part that I've been able to report on so far is the brightness of the map definitely has improved a lot. There's a lot less of those corners that you know you you could basically run right past somebody if they were wearing a rose skin and never see him. So they kind of they nerfed the rose skin in two aspects. One, they improved the like universal lighting across the map, and two, I do think they tweaked the way lighting like bounces off the rose skin a little bit. So that part's nice. And like you said, it just some of the things they changed, they just does it feels better right now for the most part.
Yeah, it's new, so everything's good. The one thing that I will go back to that again you said to me because I haven't played, but it doesn't feel like we're restricted to like a 2 to 3 gun meta right now.
That's the other side of things is on top of the map update. I got to give Raven a lot of credit. They uh, released a massive balance pass to a lot of these Cold War weapons. We saw the fact that the AUG and the M16 just absolutely dominated as the primary weapon there for a long while. Um, and they nerfed both of those, so that they're both still good in terms of their killing potential, but it takes a lot more skill to use them because you actually have to kind of aim and hit your shots instead of being able to spam a burst weapon,
Yeah.
which obviously I think is the right way to go about it. Um, the FFAR is still pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So you still see a lot of FFARs. Although I will say significantly less than you did, so that's a plus. The Krig and the Farah and the AK-47, just to name the 3 rifles off the top of my head that I can think of that I've played with and used so far from Cold War, that were previously almost unusable, now feel a lot better as well. So the AR meta is way more diverse. You basically can use whatever weapon you want at the moment if you're comfortable with it. I've been using a lot of the M4. I think you know that. It feels like the Kilo's a little easier to compete with now that you can't get absolutely bursted if you face speak something again. So that makes me happy because I'm a big fan of the Kilo as well. You could even use like the Bruin or the PKM from Modern Warfare if you wanted to, and then like I said, the Cold War weapons like the automatic rifles. I think the QBZ, the AK, the Krig are all pretty good options. I've seen a lot of those. So overall, this might be knock on wood, the most diverse meta we've seen.
Yeah, and that would be great because I suck at the game. So if there's a lot of options and guns I feel more comfortable with using. Like I love the Krig. I remember when Cold War came out, I was like, man, this gun's gonna fucking slap in Warzone at some point. And it didn't for the first 2 seasons. And now like I'll go on YouTube or I'll go on Twitch and people are using it and I'm like, finally.
It's a little less bouncy in Warzone now. It feels like too. And just I think they made it so like the bullet velocity and stuff, it feels like it's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, and with talking about Warzone, I want to peek the new Warzone map that you have
we
ever so diligently found. Now, out of this, because I haven't played, what is your favorite update to the map overall? Like new spot, I guess. Like I know Summit's a new part, and Factory, and the salt mine. I know Lumber. Then isn't Lumber a farmland now? Whatchamadinger?
Part of farmland is some sort. People are saying it's a reskinned version of Standoff, the multiplayer map from Black Ops 2. I'll be honest, I've only been in that area one time, and it wasn't immediately apparent to me which orientation it was. So I might have to explore that a little more, because it very well could be. It must have been a significant kind of reskin and redesign. On the way our group tends to play. We land a lot in this northern third of the map up here where it was Quarry, now it's Salt Mine, the military base, and then what was the dam / Upper Hills area is now Summit. Haven't really explored too much of Summit, except in passing. We've rotated through there a couple of times. Military base is mostly the same, except they redid the tents area quite heavily. There's 2 big barracks buildings in there now. So honestly, it's a little more ratty than it was, which doesn't make me super happy. But also those 2 buildings have good sight lines to different parts of the map, so I'm not altogether unhappy with it. The area that I played in the most so far that I can report, I feel a lot better about is the salt mine. You can't really tell because it's a very terrible quality picture. No offense to whoever tweet this is. I hid their name as to not roast them directly. But thank you for actually putting a picture because, again, I couldn't find one anywhere else. They took out, that big 5-story quarry building that was in this far corner up here?
Yep.
That's not there anymore. It's like,
I didn't know.
Since we're in the past, I don't know if we said that, this is now Verdansk 1984. So we went from 2021 back in time by 40 years. And so they haven't mined that part yet, So there was no room to put a building because they haven't dug up that part of the hill yet. So it's only the 2 kind of long 2-story quarry buildings now. Or I guess 3-story. Which, they're still kind of campy, but that building was just annoying to have to push There was only one staircase if a team decided to hole up in the top of it, but it was a very powerful position, so you kind of needed to get people out the top of it. So that's kind of nice that that's gone. Um, haven't spent a ton of time around the factory myself, but I've seen a lot of gameplay so far, since Factory Superstore is the area that obviously a lot of the high skill streamer teams drop. So that area looks pretty good. The airport is very weird now, very different since it's not destroyed, like it was.
Yeah.
The airport had that freaking big ass hole in the north side of it that you could run in. That doesn't exist anymore. So it's more traditional, but honestly, Jake and I lost a game literally just because we couldn't find a doorway to go through in the airport.
Oh wow.
And like the zone killed us. So that part kind of sucked, I'm not going to lie. So what I was trying to say by that isn't that it was a bad design. It was more they've definitely changed some routes. Like it still feels very familiar, which is nice, but they've changed certain things. The one thing I will say I'm disappointed at from a map design perspective is they did not get rid of, I don't feel like, enough of the like tall campy buildings in the promenade / hospital / downtown area. This area still feels very ratty if you have to play it late game. James and I had a game end in downtown. Was that yesterday? And I can report it was pretty much the same BS that you ran into before. A lot of guys sitting on rooftops that have probably been there a fair share of the game, just holding it down. Unfortunate. Prison still feels really, really bad if the zone pulls that way. I don't know. I would have liked a little more from a map redesign, but I also, I'll take it since the meta is pretty good right now.
And with that, I think that wraps up Warzone's update. I haven't played it yet. I will hopefully get to it tomorrow when I get off work,
Ooh.
so I could have more to report at a later date. But I'm excited.